search for directions, my thoughts reflecting.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This is your host Oliver Nah here on the Big Bass Streams channel. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel here. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the Clear Lake series that we're dropping every other day through episode 16. We've got them already edited and queued up for your viewing pleasure. My buddy Johnny and I, he's the Grind Mentality, Johnny to Win. His new YouTube account has just been created, so make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's got some cool stuff coming your way from his perspective. Make sure you also subscribe to my own personal channel. You guys are going to see a whole bevy of content that is unique to my channel that will not live here on the Big Bass Streams channel. Some more deep dive stuff, more one-on-one engagement, more podcasts, the real nitty gritty on some real topics and issues that are going on in my world as it pertains to me. And of course, we're going to continue to hit you with that content as a community here on Big Bass Streams from everybody on the team. Things have been a little bit slow because of the current situation in the world, but we're hoping everybody's staying safe, staying sane, keeping yourselves occupied, making the most of this downtime. For some people, for me, it's nonstop. It's really business as usual. I've been in the office working on content, working on brand relationships, working on tackle, getting ready for my next adventure, wherever that may be. My year right now is a little bit in limbo and is a little uncertain, so I'm looking forward to getting back on the water with all my clients on my Big Bass Streams personal training sessions. We're going to get all of those rolling as soon as it's possible and as soon as it's safe to do so for everybody. No unnecessary travel on our parts. I'm going to be hunkered down myself here, building on this kind of content for you guys. But anyways, we've got a special package here. If you guys haven't noticed, let me just say that it's nice to be wanted, and now more than ever I find so much value in working with brands that want to work with me, working with people that see value in what I'm trying to do on a personal level and what we're trying to do as a community at Big Bass Streams and impacting the culture. So shout out to the few of you guys that tune into what we do. You guys are worth more than you know to a lot of us. So thank you for that, and thank you to the Daiwa squad for jumping on Team Oliver, man. I'm excited for 2020 and what the future holds. So as you've seen, I've already had some first-hand experience with some of the 300 and 400 size models, so I needed to add to that arsenal just so when I am able to get back out fishing, I've got let's see, that would make 7 rods geared up. Yeah, that would make 7 rods and reels, all laced up and ready to rock. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about line and a little bit about gear ratios here. I am going to be ordering more Lexas with a higher speed gear ratio for my musky fishing in the future and maybe some of my striper fishing. And that's because my trophy largemouth fishing is ultimately very, very slow, methodical, at a much slower pace than I'm fishing on some of this big water for these big muskies and big stripers, of which long bouts of speed are triggering mechanisms for those fish. I've found that small bursts of speed during a slow, methodical presentation has accounted for the bulk of my trophy largemouth. And when I say trophy largemouth, I'm talking about anything really over 8 pounds, anything especially over 10 pounds, and of the few fish I have over 11-12 pounds, it definitely continues to hold true. I slow down, I don't make as many casts. If you guys have been paying attention to the content I've been putting out, you see some of these bigger largemouth I'm catching, I'm fishing super slow. Okay, so that calls for a lower gear ratio here. All right, first up, we've got a brand new Lexa 300HD. This is the P model, 6:3 to 1 gear ratio. Alright, so I'm gonna always lock this drag down when I'm fishing for trophy largemouth because of the way I fight them. And maybe we'll go over some fighting style stuff in a green room on my personal channel. So if you guys haven't, please take the time to subscribe to my channel. There's a link here and in the description below. Turn your notifications on, because other than the one episode of the green room on the Big Bass Streams channel, all of that stuff will be only on my personal channel. Okay, so 6:3 to 1 gear ratio is pretty much what I requested all the way around. The same holds true for the Lexa 400 here. Ooh, got a little key there, comes in the box. That's nice to have. Okay, so when you guys are seeing me fish for these big largemouth, you'll notice I'm usually like anchored down or fishing really slow, and like I said, I'm creeping that bait for the most part, stalling it and using bursts of speed here and there. Okay, and not sure if some of you freshwater guys are comfortable fishing a power handle, but I've grown really accustomed to it over the last couple of years. All the inshore saltwater guys have been a fan of the power handle for obvious reasons. You get quite a bit of leverage when you're, number one, winding a big bait or a big swim bait or surface iron or something like that in the kelp. And then when you hook a big calico bass or a white sea bass or a yellow, or even some of the tuna. I think Johnny's got like monster tuna on one of the old generation Lexa 400s. You've got a lot more leverage, okay, on that power handle. Those of you guys that prefer the double handles, Daiwa does offer the new generation wind grip double paddle handles as an upgrade. Also look at the DRT variable handles. Saw those firsthand fishing with my boy Rafael Rossi a couple weeks ago. Those things are super sick, so let's see if we can get our hands on some of those possibly. But if you can get used to the new mechanics of fishing with a big power handle, I was fishing the iSlide 262 with it. We're fishing the Defiant 210, 247 with it. A-rig worked out really well for the A-rig. Great option. Might take some new learning and training though to incorporate that into your game. So I am gonna say that I do prefer the HD model versus the wind grip model. You definitely can feel the difference in the gearing when you're casting and retrieving between the HD and the wind grip. The wind grip is a great reel. You'll see me catching some nice fish with that reel specifically. But for another $50, I'm probably gonna be buying all HDs from here on out. So that's just something for you guys to consider. These things are going to last me several seasons, I'm sure. And I did request one model with a little bit faster gear ratio. This one's got a 7:4 to 1. And there are times when I am burning the bank or covering water, and I want a little bit faster line pickup to accommodate for the amount of movement in the boat as I'm going down the bank. I want to be able to keep the same pace as I would be fishing that bait if I was stationary. Okay, so a little bit faster gear ratio. You're getting one more, just shy of one more revolution per handle turn, so it's not a ton. Just a small adjustment. It's going to be nice for fishing some of those straight wind baits or maybe a bigger topwater. And as you guys can see, I've actually fallen in love with this 300 size. I fished some other 300 sizes that I felt were almost a little bit too small, but for most of the bass fishing stuff that I've been doing, this thing has been perfect. Everything but like the really big baits, 10+ inch baits, I probably won't be fishing the 400 a whole lot of. It holds 25, this 28-pound fluorocarbon I've been testing, even 35-pound fluorocarbon I've been testing. and it's been fishing it really well. The line hasn't been too problematic with holding a lot of memory, even with that smaller diameter spool. But with that being said, one of the advantages of the 400 is that it does have a much bigger spool and arbor. So when you're fishing that 35-pound fluorocarbon I've been testing, that 41-pound test fluorocarbon that I've been testing, it is nice to have that bigger diameter spool to help manage that big thick fluoro. And when we start muskie fishing, we'll do a whole nother reel breakdown specifically for them, but with the higher gear ratios involved most likely. But we're going to be fishing 80 to 100-pound braid as well. So the 400 is going to be a great size for the really big stuff for both largemouth as well as stripers and big muskies and pike fishing for the guys in Europe. All right, and all my boys down under, you guys already know what time it is with the barra and the cod. A lot of my boys are still fishing 200 size reels for these meter-plus long fish, and I think we saw firsthand like some of the advantages of hooking these big powerful fish on heavy gear and controlling them. We did pretty good on our landing ratio, so I think that's going to be a continued trend for our friends down under. I'm excited to get back down there at some point and continue to build on our experiences. All right, but like I said here, this 300's got that 28-pound fluorocarbon. It's new fluoro I've been testing. Hopefully you'll get some news on when we can talk about it some more. But that fills a unique niche. Okay, you guys saw the Kobe Bryant tribute swimbait video. Was using this 80-pound braid to a short 40-pound fluorocarbon leader on a Defiant 210. This has been a really pleasant surprise. I gained a lot of confidence fishing muskies, Murray cod, and barramundi with heavier braid, 80, 100-pound, to heavy fluoro leaders, 40, 50, 60-pound, and realizing the benefits of the lack of stretch in the main line and the feel, and especially around shallow cover, whether that cover was in the form of grass or shallow brush. I've really gotten comfortable and confident fishing this for largemouth when in the past I wouldn't even go near it. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole or an 8-foot pole in this case. Right, but yeah, you got to make some adjustments on your mechanics, and that really goes all the way down the line to your traditional tackle. I keep hearing guys being against the braid to fluoro system. Some guys complain it's too loud. Well, you just got to fish a smoother braid, right? Some guys complain that they lose fish, they miss fish, this, that, and the third. Well, they're not making the effort to adjust for those technical characteristics of that no stretch line, adjusting their hook sets, adjusting their fish fighting styles, and we'll talk about some more of that stuff on the green room. All right, man, we got the ghetto birds up in the air. Welcome back home, Oliver. Oh, got a sun shirt there. What else we got? Oh, this is sick. All right. Like I said earlier, Daiwa is coming at the accessory game in a super strong fashion. Look at this backpack. This is definitely going to come into play for me, especially with the boating restrictions. I might be able to sneak away at some shore fishing missions for the first time in a while. That is the fundamentals of my fishing history, so it would be kind of cool to revisit that. Got some pockets here, pocket there, and a compartment here. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's a reel bag. Okay, so check that out. If you guys have seen some of my travels, you'll notice I do carry tackle with me on my travels, and these Lexas fit perfectly in this reel bag. So those of you guys that are looking for a solid storage solution here for your flights and international fishing, that right there is going to be a nice sick addition. So that can count as your personal item or as your carry-on item. I'll talk about some of my travel storage systems, I guess, in the future, because that's a good topic of discussion. People are always asking me how I bring that stuff, but you know, I can probably fit several reels as well as some like GoPro accessories and cameras in here. But really cool to see that Daiwa is got a bevy of options for storage. Got a cool little tool bag here, traveler reel case backpack. That's what's up. So anyways, we're gonna wrap this one up. As always, thank you guys for tuning into the channel. Stay patient. Don't put yourselves at risk for anything that's unnecessary. Fishing is beautiful in that it's always going to be there for us as soon as whatever we're going through is over with. In the meantime, please feel free to binge watch everything that we post here on the Big Bass Streams channel. There's 550 plus videos that we've been uploading over the last 2.5 years for you guys to enjoy, and trust me, there's always something to learn from each video, even if we aren't coming out and spelling it out for you guys. This is Oliver Nye. As always, I, along with everybody at Big Bass Streams, appreciates your support. Also, that reminds me, our warehouse in Texas is being shut down from operation to it being classified as a non-essential business. So we are still getting orders coming through. Please be mindful that we're going to get them out to you guys as soon as humanly possible and as soon as it's safe for our team in the warehouse to get to it. So appreciate your patience, appreciate your continued patronage, and we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate Team Daiwa. So shout out to my guys at Daiwa, and shout out to the rest of you guys. Aim high, dream big. This is Oliver Nye. We're out.
In search for directions, my thoughts reflecting.